I think there were some ups and downs. I think we did some nice things. I think you could see some chemistry and synergy. And then obviously we didn't sustain that at a high enough level. And, so that's our challenge this week is to try to draw more of that out of those guys and be as consistent as possible.
What do you think happened in the second half? You didn't score a lot of points or any points either for that matter. So what happened from the first half to the second half last week?
Yeah. I think just some of the details, being on the details of their assignments, and certainly we got to look for ways to attack the defense and keep stress on the defense. So we all as a whole are looking at it. I look at myself first and think of ways that we may have been able to try to create a little bit more stress, on the Steelers. And then unfortunately the game just kind of got away from us by the end of the, tail end of the fourth quarter there. It was a different ballgame.
Aaron has thrown 6 interceptions in the last 3 games, which is unheard of for him in his career. He's gone through years where he didn't even have that many. What's your concern level?
I am not concerned. I think we talked about this my first time up here at the podium with you guys, that is something very uncharacteristic of his career. He has made it a hallmark of his career that he takes care of the football and makes good decisions. We're gonna get through some of these issues, and I believe that he works as hard as anybody in football at improving his craft. And I anticipate it being smoother sailing going forward from a turnover standpoint.
What's it been like seeing Davante trying to take on such a leadership role so quickly when he really just got here like a week ago?
Yeah, it's been awesome. He's a really incredible human being. I like how he connects with all different position groups. You can see him talking with the linemen, talking with the running backs, obviously talking with the quarterback, talking with the tight ends. It's been great. And just a guy that has the pelts on the wall like that commands an immediate respect and attention. It's been great to have conversations with him personally, not all football, just getting to know the guy a little bit. And his passion for the game and his passion for his teammates is on the forefront of what you get with him.
As you guys try to get Breece Hall back into a rhythm, how important was his receiving production when he's not finding the holes on the ground?
One of the most impressive things about Breece's game is he is so well-rounded. He catches the ball well. He understands route concepts. But then he has that run-after-catch ability that even if he's a check down in a progression, he can make it an explosive gain. I think back to the Giants game last year, taking a check down for 50 yards. So none of us were surprised at what he was able to do with the ball in his hands from a receiving standpoint in Pittsburgh. Always trying to find that balance of run and pass with him, and trying to get the ball in his hands as many ways as possible. First and foremost, I'll tell you, we got to get the run game going. So that's something I think we took a stride in the right direction in Buffalo and a little bit of a step back against Pittsburgh.
How do you get it going? Because it did look like you took that stride.
Yeah, first of all, it starts with earning first downs, right? Getting more cracks, more opportunities at calls on the first and second down play sheet. I felt like we were trending in that direction in the first half against Pittsburgh. In the second half, a few more 3-and-outs, less sustained drives. That's less opportunities to be able to, call normal down and distance plays. So it starts with that. And then secondly, just identifying throughout the course of the game what's working, what adjustments we've made on the sideline, and we can feel confident repeating calls, giving him another shot on goal with the same scheme. Those are all things that play into it.
The first interception the other night, which Aaron admitted was just a bad decision, what did you see from a coaching perspective?
Yeah, I think Aaron addressed it and talked to you guys about it from the situation standpoint. I think we had a lot of time there. He saw a flash of an ability to make an explosive play, and think we had some opportunities to just advance the sticks there with all the time we had before the half.
When they get that penalty and Aaron goes to Ulbrich and says, "I want to go for 2," were you involved in that decision? Like did you know what play you were going to call? Did Aaron say, "I want this play"? Like, how'd that all unfold? Because I'm assuming you thought we're going to kick a PAT.
As a play caller, those are the scenarios you always take yourself through as the week goes on and you're putting the call sheet together. I wasn't consulted on the decision, but I was ready for it. I was thinking the exact same thing Aaron was. When you go from the 2-yard line now to the 1, your whole playbook's open to be able to get that 2-point conversion, and we had a call ready for that scenario, and it played out pretty much like we wanted it to.
That 1 yard really makes that much of a difference?
It does. I just think it makes it a little bit more confident that even if it's a muddy run, you're going to find your way into it.
How's Garrett been this week? Because obviously he was pretty down on himself after the game.
Yeah, he's a competitor and he's a good teammate, and those two things obviously make that situation painful for him, right? But what's great about him is he's got a charisma and energy about him that once he starts to kind of get back to his normal self, he's got a bunch of people around him encouraging him, and so we're expecting a bounce back for him, and certainly glad that back to smiles on his face.
Todd, how does your right guard situation look for this week?
Yeah, luckily we've had the opportunity to have a little bit more continuity with that group throughout training camp, and so they've got some time together. The guys know each other. I feel like at this point last year we were kind of bringing in some new faces and dealing with some challenges, but excited to watch those guys step up with their opportunities and work together.
Malachi Corley, he's been inactive 3 straight weeks. So what's kind of been your message to him? What does he need to do to get active on game day, I guess?
Yeah, I was a big fan of Malachi in college, and did some work on him. Just peeking through, cross references some quarterbacks and things like that. He's a dynamic guy with the ball in his hands. I think he's maturing and understanding this game as a profession, and that it isn't like college where you show up and you're the best guy on the team, and things just always go your way. And I think it's been great to watch him handle that maturation process by leaning on some veterans and getting some advice from them. My messaging to him and encouragement to him is to always stay ready, because you never know when that opportunity is going to come. But to also know that just because you don't get a jersey on Sunday doesn't mean people don't believe in you. There's an embarrassment of riches in the wide receiver room right now, and to not crack the top 5 or 6 of that group isn't a knock on Malachi. It's a testament to what Joe's done with that position group.
Take a couple more.
When you have a guy who set a ridiculously high bar for his career like Tyron Smith, and he's not necessarily meeting that bar this year, how has he handled that, and what have you seen from his play?
Well, the thing that Tyron has going for him and working through that process is that none of us have reached the bar that we've set for ourselves this year. And so we all need to look for ways to improve. I know he's working his tail off to do that, but everybody knows the pro that he is and the standard that he holds himself to. So we got to try to match that and join him.
What has your view of Hassan Reddick been from the opposition side, from the other side of the ball?
Yeah, definitely a guy you got to game plan so that he can't wreck the game, right? I know you guys saw a bunch of stuff in the Pittsburgh game where we had to have a plan for T.J. Watt. He's that caliber of a rusher that if you don't account for him, he can ruin the game. So I have nothing but the utmost respect for him as a pass rusher and playmaker.
And what makes you confident that this team is equipped to run the ball?
Yeah, I think, number one, we have the right mindset. We have guys that are going to continue to work and grind and fight for blocks to keep their man off the ball carrier. It's a process running the football, and I think we're taking strides in the right direction in a lot of areas. We just need to do it more consistently, and we need some more shots on goal so that those guys can get into a rhythm and find their running off the ball type mindset.